Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God.
What is peace? Ask a soldier returning from war, and he will tell you, peace is the silence after the guns. Ask a mother whose child has just drifted to sleep, and she will tell you, peace is the soft rise and fall of breath in a quiet room. Ask a monk in his cell, and he will tell you, peace is something deeper still, an inward stillness no battlefield can shatter and no nursery can produce. So which is it? Is peace the cessation of hostilities, or is it calmness of soul? Is it a condition of the world or a condition of the heart? Wherever you turn, you will find strife. Nations rise against nations. Tribes harden against tribes. Families crack along the fault lines of inheritance and old wounds. As Jesus himself foretold, daughter-in-law is set against mother-in-law, son-in-law against father-in-law, brother against brother, friend against friend. The world, it seems, is a workshop of fracture. And yet, and this is the marvel, people of good will continue to labor. They mend what is torn. They speak softly into rooms full of shouting. They build bridges over rivers of resentment. They will not surrender the dream of harmony, even when harmony seems most absurd. Such is the nature of life on this fragile planet. We strive for peace in the midst of a fractured world. So I ask again, with fresh urgency, what is peace? And who are these peacemakers whom Jesus calls blessed? Notice what Jesus does not say, blessed are the peace lovers. He does not say, blessed are those who keep their heads down and their mouths shut. He does not bless mere quietude, nor reward the avoidance of conflict. The peacemaker creates peace by entering into the human condition. The ancient Greek word to describe this is erinopoi, literally, makers of peace. It is a word of action, of craftsmanship, of creation. The peacemaker is a builder, a mender, a reconciler. He or she does not merely tolerate his enemy. They turn the enemy into a brother or sister. Peacemakers do not merely refrain from quarrel. They step into the heart of the quarrel to draw out its poison. This is what the Apostle Paul called the ministry of reconciliation, the sacred vocation of repairing the bonds between God and humanity, and between one human being and another. To be a peacemaker is to walk in the footsteps of the Prince of Peace himself, who came not to keep his distance from our brokenness, but to enter into it, to bear it, and to heal it. And the promise attached to this vocation is breathtaking. They shall be called children of God, not servants, not subjects, children. Those who make peace bear the family resemblance of their Father. For God is, before all else, the great reconciler. The peacemaker in quiet labor is doing the family business. Some years ago, I was doing volunteer work in Ireland, and one morning I passed the gate of a great dockyard. Two men stood there, weary-eyed, holding signs. I stopped and asked how they were doing. A fellow worker, they told me, had completed his apprenticeship, had served his full time, paid his dues, mastered his trade, and was supposed to have been promoted to full plumber. But the company had reneged. They had not done right by him. His fellow workers, in solidarity, had taken to the gates in protest. I asked if I might speak with management. They said yes, and so I went in. The managers received me coolly. I was, in their eyes, an outsider, with no understanding of real business. They dismissed my words as holy man talk, and assured me, with the polished confidence of professionals, that they knew best how to handle the situation. They handled it harshly. The protests swelled. Word ran along the dock and beyond. Other workers joined. Sympathy strikes spread. Shipping contracts from Japan were lost. And in the end, the dockyard, an institution that had stood for generations, that had fed families and built ships and shaped the life of a community, closed its gates forever. Why? Not because the workers were unreasonable, not because business was impossible, but because, at the moment when peace was still within reach, no one in authority would lower himself to make it. They would not listen. They would not negotiate in good faith. They would not treat a man as a man. They were not peacemakers. They were peacebreakers, and the wreckage of their refusal lay scattered around them. Every soul, no matter how humble, must be treated with respect and granted a hearing. This is not sentimentality. This is the bedrock of peace. Where listening dies, peace cannot live. But peacemaking is not only outward. It is, perhaps first of all, inward. For how can a soul give what it does not possess? How can a heart at war with itself broker peace between others? Let me share an old parable that has long inspired me. There once was a king who offered a great prize to the artist who could paint the truest picture of peace. Painters came from every kingdom, and the palace walls were soon hung with their offerings. The king studied each one carefully, but in the end he narrowed the contest to two. The first painting showed a calm mountain lake, a perfect mirror of glass, ringed by towering peaks, beneath a sky of soft blue, strewn with clouds like sleeping lambs. All who saw it murmured their approval. Surely, they said, this is peace. The second painting was nothing like the first. Its mountains were rugged and bare. Its sky was bruised with storm. Rain lashed down in silver sheets. Lightning split the clouds, and down the cliffside roared a foaming waterfall, wild and white and terrible. Those who saw it shook their heads. This is not peace, they said. This is chaos. But the king bent close. He looked and looked again. And there, behind the thunder of the waterfall, hidden in a crack of the rock, was a tiny bush. And on that bush, a mother bird had built her nest. And there she sat, eyes calm, wings folded, brooding her eggs in absolute serenity, while the storm raged and the waters roared, a hand's breadth from her feathers. The king awarded the prize to the second painting, and when his courtiers asked him why, he answered, "Because peace is not the absence of trouble. Peace is the calm in the very midst of trouble. This is the peace Christ offers, and the peace he commands his disciples to make. It is not a peace built on the soft cushion of comfortable circumstances. Such peace dissolves at the first hard wind. It is a peace planted in the rock, behind the waterfall, in the very throat of the storm. There is a hard saying in the gospel that troubles many Christians, and we must not flinch from it. In Matthew 5:9, Jesus says, "Blessed are the peacemakers." But in Matthew 10:34, he says,
Do not think that I came to bring peace on the earth. I did not come to bring peace, but the sword.
How can we hold these two sayings in one hand? We hold them by understanding that the peace of Christ is not the peace of the world. The world's peace is the peace of compromise, the peace of looking the other way, the peace bought by silencing the prophets and burying the truth. Christ's peace is built on truth, and truth is like a sword. It cuts through illusion. It severs comfortable lies. It divides the wheat from the chaff, even when wheat and chaff have grown up together in the same household. To be a peacemaker, in Christ's sense, then, is not to keep the peace of the lie. It is not to nod along while injustice flourishes. It is not to soothe the comfortable at the expense of the oppressed. The true peacemaker may have to stir up trouble before settling it. A peacemaker may have to name the wound before it can be cured. The peacemaker, like the master, can be a sign of contradiction in a room where brother is set against brother, sister against sister, because the truth of the peacemaker cannot coexist with the falsehoods that have held the family together. This is why the seventh beatitude grows so naturally out of the sixth. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Only the pure heart can wield truth without cruelty, can confront without crushing, can divide without destroying. Without purity of heart, peacemaking degenerates either into appeasement at any price or into self-righteous warfare. And so we return to the great promise. They shall be called children of God. The peacemaker is recognized. Heaven knows the peacemaker. To make peace is to bear the likeness of Christ. To be reconciled with one another is to do his work. To carry calm into chaos is to carry him. And so the world will not run out of storms. There will be quarrels in your family, tensions at your workplace, cracks in your community, wars among nations. Do not be surprised by this. The world has always been so, but neither be defeated by it. Be a peacemaker. Be the one who listens when others shout. Be the one who speaks truth softly when others traffic in lies. Do not be the one who refuses, like those dockyard managers, to dismiss the humble voice at the gate. And may the peace of Christ, which surpasses all understanding, guard your heart and your mind. May you carry it, not as a possession to hoard, but as a torch to share. And when at last you stand before your Maker, may you hear the words your soul longs to hear. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God. Thank you for listening, and I am Hugh Duffy.